Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode on No, but Seriously, Let Me Explain. Hosted by the beautiful, intelligent Earth Angel Lala Davi. This podcast was designed to provide detailed business advice, next level resources, personal credit tips, and relatable relationship knowledge. Be sure to bookmark this page and subscribe because we wouldn't want you to miss any valuable content. And if you're struggling with poor credit, don't even worry about it. Just text Help My Credit to 507-400-3426. That's 507-400-3426. We have live agents standing by to cater to all your service requests. And now that that's out the way, let's make room for what the host has to say. Lala Davi, do your thing, girl.
Welcome to No, but Seriously, Let Me Explain, the phenomenal podcast series that will keep you fully engaged with all the tips and tricks that you need in order to be successful, while giving you lots and lots of flavor. I am your host, Lala Davi, and today we will discuss Gorilla Snatch. Do you have full control over your pelvic wall and the muscles surrounding? No, but seriously, let me explain. One of the most controversial quotes that we remember that involves the female anatomy was the infamous quote, "Grab them by the pussy," which was said by our lovely former president, Donald Trump, of course. Who else would have said that? But we're so much more than just the pussy, okay? As women, we tend to age and our bodies tend to go through various changes that may affect the vaginal elasticity. And this particularly is true during the menopause and pregnancy stages, as well as when estrogen levels tend to drop a little bit. Some factors can really lead to the vaginal wall loosening over time, like childbirth and several medical conditions. So it's really important to note that the tightness of the vagina isn't directly related to sexual activity. In fact, the vagina is designed to stretch and accommodate penetration regardless of the frequency of sexual intercourse. So it's also worth noting that the concept of tightness can really be subjective and varies from person to person. Some women may feel that their vagina is less tight due to aging or due to, other factors, while others may notice a slight difference or no difference at all. And it's important to really remember that every woman's body is uniquely designed and there is no one that is normal or ideal for the state of vaginal tightness, so to speak. There's a number of different things that really goes into that, like a female's frame and her size and things like that as well. However, if you're experiencing any type of concerns about the tightness of your vagina or changes in the vagina elasticity, then it's really wise to really seek out a healthcare provider, and they could really determine whether you have underlying medical conditions or some type of hormonal imbalance that may be due to these changes. And then y'all can go over different treatment options if it's necessary. However, overall, it is important to prioritize an open, honest communication with your partners, of course, about your sexual health and any concerns that you may have. And remember that sexual pleasure and satisfaction can only be achieved in many different ways, regardless of the perceived tightness of the vagina. The tightness of your vagina has 3 factors. The first one being genetics. You are what you're made of, with a certain size. And just like men with their penises, they have their own unique sizes as well. No matter tall, short, they're all different. even after having a baby, your vagina returns to the same size. And the muscle strength, if you have tight, strong core muscles, you can flex your inner muscles. Then arousal loosens those muscles for penetration. And then typically if you're nervous or stressed out or anxious and not aroused, then your vagina muscles might just clench shut. And this is one of the reasons why virgins may experience pain. But just like with any machine, if you want to perform well, then you need to put in the best fuel. So the vagina is no exception to this rule. And you got to put the best fuel into the vagina. And one of the best ways to assist in tightening the vagina is to change what you eat. So with that said, you want to make sure that your muscles are able to repair themselves effectively, quickly, and thoroughly. And when you eat the right foods, you can really provide your body with the right nutritions that you need in order to keep those muscles strong and healthy. So you need to provide your body with the right nutrients it needs to keep your muscles strong and healthy. And just a couple of different foods that I like to eat that are great for muscle repair. And they really include like lean proteins too, like chicken and fish and greens and like spinach and kale. That's really good. But I'm a fruit type of person. So I like apples, of course. And then carrots is really good. Fenugreek, I don't eat that. I take it in a capsule. So you can definitely look online. I order mine from, Amazon or sometimes Walmart.com. I'm an online shopper. Any of my friends could tell you that. So yeah, and pomegranate is really good too. It has an acquired taste, but it's really good. Sesame seeds, it's good. Soybeans, sweet berries, and yams. I just made some yams yesterday and finger licking good. So you got to really put the right nutrients in your body. I can't say that enough to make sure that your muscles can heal themselves. Like you need to be able to naturally heal your body. And with these products having this high natural estrogen in them already, I would say it's always good to just absorb as much as those nutrients as you can. Like higher estrogen levels can really increase vaginal wetness by causing the vaginal opening to produce more fluid. And then you can always do like your Kegels. Like I don't know if you girls are out there really doing your Kegels, but the Kegel exercise is really a good way to really keep a woman's vagina tight and control the muscles in a sense. And it's one of the easiest ways to really start and stop your flow. Like if you're going to the bathroom, you can like simply try to cut it off mid-flow just to exercise this muscle a little bit more, but not in a sense where you're holding it in all day. Like just when you're going, try to cut it off mid-flow and see how well you're able to keep up there. And once you've basically successfully mastered like this new Kegel exercise workout, like you can look online, Google, YouTube, like they have so many different options for you to really do different Kegel exercises. And you can lay on your back and really tighten your muscles even while you're working, as long as you're contracting the pelvic floor muscles and keeping them contracted for like a few seconds, holding it and then releasing it over time. And you can do this while you're walking, you're talking, and you're in practice and whatever, in speech therapy. Like you can practice this anywhere. So just practice. And even when you're setting up talking to people, you could just be practicing. But nonetheless, don't let people know that's what you're doing. You shouldn't be moving your body at all. Like, no one should be able to tell that you're exercising your Kegels. Also, squats is really helpful. If you're doing squats, you can really regain muscle tightness of the vaginal muscles with squats, and undertaking like certain squats like is really good. Like sumo squats is really good and they're very effective. I do them often, but there's another perfect way that you can really tighten the vagina if it's done correctly. And you can do this when you stand with your feet like hip width apart, positioning your toes like 30 degrees, and then just pretend like there's a seat just right behind you. So you're going to bend at the hips as if you're going to sit on this imaginary seat that's behind you while you're pushing up through your heels to raise your back up into like a standing position safely. So that's how you want to do your squats. And of course, as you all know, you want to consult with your doctors if you're not physically active enough to do these squats. I don't recommend people going out there trying stuff just because they're trying to get their vagina tight. Like, don't do that. Stay safe, okay? However, another way, ladies, to really get that vagina going, you got to stretch your pelvis. Stretching the pelvis really targets like both the pelvic floor muscles as well as stopping the vagina from becoming too loose. Like, in order to really stretch your pelvis from like this comfort position, you have to be like in the comfort of your home, of course, sitting on the edge of a really sturdy chair with your feet spread apart, of course, and with your hands placed on your knees. You want to have your elbows kind of like outwardly turned, and then you want to bend at the ankles with your elbows bending and the weight of your upper body moving to your thighs. Okay? Once you're in this position, you want to spread your arms, raising your chest, and then you want to begin folding your pelvis so that it's up and back down. You want to go up and then it's back down. So that's how you're going to be stretching your pelvis, ladies. And you want to do different reps. Of course, it's easy to start off with 25. Do maybe like 4 sets of 25 just to kind of gauge it a little bit, but take like a 30-second breather in between just to stretch it out, shake it out, because I don't want you guys out there burning, especially if you're just now starting out. But stretch that pelvis, ladies. Next thing you want to do is really give yourself a leg up. You want to tone your legs, ladies. Tone your back, tone your core, and so much more. Just like simply by lifting your legs up. All you have to do to help your pelvic floor muscles here is to lay flat on your back and raise a leg straight upward, one at a time. And then you have to alternatively move the leg sideways instead. But you want to make sure that you always keep the leg straight. And with this straight leg exercise, you want to do this for at least 3 weeks just to produce these dramatic results. So definitely, if you haven't begun workout, you want to try something light. Start with yoga, of course, before moving into more intense workouts. And I can go into a little bit more yoga techniques too. Like if you're like a frequent yoga person, like this is really good, because generally when you're doing yoga, most of your vagina muscles tend to be able to stay well toned. Like yoga is a great way to help with the pelvic floor muscles to remain really strong and intact. And the best positions for really helping with preventing and loosening of vaginas, of course, is the child's pose and the bridge pose. These are really good positions and techniques, and any other position which may require you to do some deep breathing. This is going to help with tightening your vagina naturally by repeating these yoga poses and doing them as often as possible. Like whether or not you're wanting to tighten your vagina, there are so many natural health benefits to yoga alone, just from the stretching. Like stretching itself is really good. And, that goes to doing the cone stretching. Like if you do have a cone, I know you can probably look it up online and find a really decent one, but to have a more effective way of tightening and strengthening the vaginal walls is to use like vaginal cones. And these are really small cones that you can really insert into the vagina. And they do have like changeable weights that you can attach to them. And as you increase the weight, you must work harder to make sure that the cone does not slide out of the vagina. The heavier the weight you can keep inside, the more toned your pelvic floor is. And for the best results, this needs to be done and worked at for longer periods of time, like 15 minutes or so, 15, 25 minutes to really get that strength in there. But again, I can't say this enough. It's always important to seek a healthcare provider. Say it with me. Seek a healthcare provider before starting any new activities. Okay? You cannot start just any new exercise or new routine if you're not used to doing that and on a regular basis, because you might start experiencing some type of discomfort or some type of pelvic pain. So your healthcare provider, they're really good for helping you determine which exercises will better fit your needs. All of these are just suggestions, of course, to all of my lovely listeners, but to my more aggressive listeners that's already familiar with some of these techniques that I'm giving out, by all means, take heed to this, ladies. Bitch. Oh, I am coming with the cheat codes today. It's always nice to keep a tight vagina. However, it's more important to keep a healthy one. So make sure you're using warm water to clean your vagina and you're patting it dry just before you're putting your clothes on. You want to avoid douching and putting anything into the vagina. Remember that your vagina is always self-cleaning. You have good bacteria and you have bad bacteria. And it fights off. I'm sure you guys been to Sex Ed. I don't need to get into sex education, but go to class. If you too young, you shouldn't even be on here. But sex education would have taught you how the vagina really works. But nonetheless, you want to make sure that you're wearing comfortable underwear, ladies, like cotton underwear and not these tight ass panties. Like they look real good. Like they sexy for now. Like let him look at it from, okay, now take it off. Don't wear them just because. Like it's only for a look and for a short period. Wear your comfortable panties, please. And also, don't be out here taking a lot of bubble baths either, or using these bath bombs. Like they have too much perfume in it and dyes, and like that is getting into your vagina and causing yeasty bacteria to grow. And y'all don't want that. So just stay away from that, because especially if you have sensitive skin, like a lot of women tend to be really sensitive, and that's a really sensitive spot anyway. So just stay away from those strong scented laundry detergents and dryer sheets and those soaps and Bath and Body Works soaps that have a lot of perfume in it. Like they have too much perfume. So just be careful when you're washing your clothes and especially your undergarments. You want to make sure that the vagina is really good, okay? And all healthy vaginas do have a smell. Like I hear a lot of people saying, man, these things smell like fishes. These things smell like keys. Like each vagina has a unique odor. And that odor really depends on a couple different things. Like a couple, okay? Like one of them will be your menstruation. Like if you're on your cycle, of course, there's an odor within that in itself, okay? And then it could also be affected by your personal hygiene practices. Like vaginal odor can really smell different when there's like some type of underlying vaginal infection. And we'd like to call this vaginitis. And in most cases, like the vaginal odor, it will smell bad during an infection. Like smell can sometimes be described as fishy or rotten. If how your vagina typically smells, you'll know when something's not right. Okay? Like you'll be able to tell when you got an infection or some guy has thrown off your pH balance. Okay? Like nonetheless, like you'll know what's good. However, just keep your genitals clean. Like this should be priority list number 1 for your daily routine. Like through and through. But cleaning it inside is not really needed. Like using a little amount of soapy type water is good, and cleaning like the outer and inner parts of the vulva is good. Using like your fingertips instead of a washcloth, because using that washcloth, you can really avoid irritating that part of the skin and causing any type of bacteria. And we all know once you've used these washcloths so many times, like you've washed them and some bacteria tends to remain on them. So it's really important to use like a sponge or something that you can clean, hand wash, of course, so you don't have to worry about bad bacteria being stuck on your washcloths, okay? You want to also make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Like there's no secret to staying hydrated. Like remaining hydrated is good for the body, and it keeps the entire body happy, healthy, and the vagina is no exception. You want a water flow? You got to keep the water flowing, okay? Keep the water in the body. Staying hydrated is what's going to make your period more comfortable, and it's going to keep you lubricated during sex, okay? Especially if you're an alcohol drinker. Ladies, if you out here drinking, you need to be drinking twice as much water, okay? Because that alcohol is just going to suck up any amount of water that you thought you had in your body. And then your vagina is going to be stupid dry, okay? Because you're not going to be able to produce a sweat, okay? Let alone vaginal lubrication. So drink your water. Also, go ahead and ditch that tissue. Because little tiny fragments of that tissue can still be attached to like your labia or to like the outer parts of your vagina. And this can really cause irritations. And instead of using like the paper tissue, you can use like the unscented wipes. I think they're called the hypoallergenic wipes. I normally get them from Walmart, of course. Say them all the time. Yeah, so you can get like some wet wipes, and that will help you feel a lot cleaner and more confident down there when it comes to your vagina, especially when you're wiping. You don't have to worry about this wet wipe getting stuck there, okay? And causing any type of infection because you got some stuck tissues or stuck vagina paper. Say what? You also want to practice using condoms, ladies. I can't say this enough. Like communicating with your sexual partners and following some really good practices is important. Like outside of just wiping from front to back to prevent the infections, you need to also try switching to latex-free condoms. Like, sex is already good, okay? It's good for your health. It's good for your well-being. So having safe sex can really help increase the blood flow to the vagina, which may help improve the effects of aging, of course. Like the vagina dryness and the thinning, like that's going to help you. So keeping your sexual life is going to be important to taking care of your health in the long run. And for my women out there that tend to love having sex during their period, I got something for you too. Like for you guys, when you're on your cycle, you're having PMS, you tend to notice like this metallic or copper type of smell, similar to a penny when having sex. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you why. This is because of the iron content in the menstrual blood. Many people wonder or not if it's safe to have sex while they're on their period. And the answer, it really depends on the person and their individual circumstances. Like, it's possible to become pregnant while you're on your period. So it's also important to use contraception. So if you don't want to conceive, you need to make sure you're wrapping that thing up. And in addition to having sex during your period, you can also increase the risk of spreading any type of sexual transmitted STIs, like a sexually transmitted infection. So it's going to be important to keep that protection on during this time to prevent that, because nobody want to be going to the doctor like, hey, give me some antibiotics because I got a STI because I decided to have sex during my period. Like, no, your body is cleansing during this time, baby. Let it cleanse. However, there are some potential benefits to having sex during your period. For example, let me just say this. Some people do find that menstrual cramps can be relieved through orgasms, and this is very true. If you're able to accomplish or achieve an orgasm while having sex while you're on your period, this will be so helpful. Like, having sex during the period can help regulate the menstrual cycle and the flow, as well as reduce the length of the period time. So, I mean, it's a win-win. You guys, okay? Overall, it is important to have just open and honest communication about your partner and your preferences and what your concerns are regarding sex and during menstruation, whatever. Like, do you like it? Do you run red lights? Do you? It's cool. Like, this is important talk. So proper communication and protection is good here. Like, it's possible to have safe sex and enjoyable sex during your period. All right? So, do you have what it takes to keep that gorilla snatch? Like, what tools do you have at your fingertips to keep your yoni popping? Well, let me tell you, the first thing you need to do is scroll down to the bottom of this description box below and grab your pretty kitty box that's fully loaded with the best selling yoni products out there. And they're all designed to help regulate your menstrual cycle. It helps to balance your hormones. It tightens your yoni grip. It destroys BV, yeast infections. It balances the pH balance. Like, it helps everything. Like, it's destroying the bad bacteria that causes odor. And it just restores the good bacteria. So it's really, really good for you to have. And I want all my ladies to remember that BV and yeast infections are real common and they're treatable conditions. And there's no need for you to feel embarrassed or ashamed about seeking help for this. Like, it's important that you have some type of vaginal health knowledge. And I can't state this enough. Like, if you're experiencing any type of discomfort or experiencing any type of pain it's always important to seek a medical provider. Like, you need medical attention if there's any type of discomfort or pain. However, there are plenty yoni products out there for you that's all natural, and you can absolutely tap into this today. So check out the show notes below and go ahead and see what you can tap into, ladies. These products are amazing because guess what? It's definitely giving WAP quality. Okay? Okay. We have come to a very short commercial break, paid for by our lovely sponsors. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this message.
Yeah, what up, ATL? Look, you ballin', you bad and bougie with bad credit. That's most of y'all. But look, man, that's why y'all need to call my people at Exchange Credit Repair. That's right, Exchange Credit Repair will help you squad them inquiries, get rid of them collections, and bankruptcy. They'll even take child support off. I didn't even know they put child support on credit. Woo-wee! And boost your credit score. Let's get that credit score where you want so you go get what you want. And if you mention Street 945, you get a 35% discount. Hein? So call my people right now at 678-420-5553, 678-420-5553, or visit my people at exchangecreditrepair.info. Exchange Credit Repair is a credit counseling business with experienced credit repair experts standing by to assist you right now. When I made this deal with them, I said, look here, you ain't got to pay me for the commercial. Just put my credit score where I want so I can go get what I want. When I went to them, they treated me like family. My privacy was all the way respected. They quick to fight for a client's right with the Bureau of Credit, Creditors, and Debt Collectors. Conveniently located at 1 West Court Square in Decatur. Tell them Shout sent you.
Confidence does not lie in achievements, skills, or looks. Not real confidence. Women can regain their confidence by making conscious efforts to improve their physical, their mental, and their emotional well-being. Engaging in physical activity such as exercising and sports can not only improve your physical health, but it could also boost your self-esteem. In addition to you practicing meditation or mindfulness, this will also help you to reduce stress and improve your mental clarity. Like, you'll be able to build strong relationships with your friends, your family, as well as pursuing your hobbies and your interests. You can contribute to your overall well-being and your increased self-confidence just by doing this. Just by taking these steps, women can definitely feel empowered and definitely feel confident in all aspects of their life. Like, in some rare cases, there may be times where medical procedures such as vaginoplasty or laser vaginal rejuvenation may be recommended for women who have severe vaginal elasticity. Like, vaginoplasty is a surgical procedure that involves tightening of the vaginal canal, and they do this by removing excess tissue. Whereas when you have the laser vaginal rejuvenation, they use these lasers to stimulate and produce collagen and as elasticity in the vagina in some type of way. Like, they have some type of improved technology of some sort to do this. Don't even allow me to get into trying to explain it. But when you have these lasers, really work for making sure that there's elasticity there and the vaginal tissues are really intact. So you can really talk to different providers to see which one of those treatment options you would need if you feel like you have severe elasticity loss or some type of loss there. However, when it comes to achieving optimum health in your pelvic regions, of course, it's essential to have like full control over your pelvic wall and the muscles surrounding it. And you can do this by improving the stability and the flexibility. And you can reduce the risk of your incontinence and prolapse and enhance the sexual function, of course. Therefore, you might want to start incorporating all the different exercises that I mentioned before, those that target the muscles, such as your Kegels, your squats, your lunges. Like, you want to get into a workout routine that will help you to gain better control over your pelvic muscles and ultimately improve your pelvic health. As we have come to the end of the show, I really hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Don't hesitate to leave any comments, questions, or concerns or advice that you might have at goaxlala.com. The floor is always open to all of my incredible listeners. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, because you don't want to miss out on any of the new and exciting content coming your way. I would like to send you much love, give big thanks for tuning in to No, But Seriously, Let Me Explain. I am your host, Lala Davi, the one with all the sauce. I will see you again next week with more show for ya. Until then, stay bold, beautiful, and brilliant. Love ya.